Undertale Last Corridor, a game that's actually making me upload for the first time in 5 months. I've actually been playing this game all since back in 2020. I even have the Jacko Sands badge to prove it. And to be honest, I was actually pretty excited for this update, because it updated 2 days ago, and it's frankly the game's biggest update yet. Now, what exactly does this update entail? Well, it entails quite a few things, most notably so far, the lobby update. This lobby update introduced so many things like the new Horror Sands shop where you talk to him, he opens up the menu for all the different souls that you have. Now if we walk directly into the room right beside Horror, we enter Killer's Kiosk. Here is where you select all your weapons. Now if we travel to the other side of the lobby, we have Hyper's Transactions, where if you enter the room, you guessed it, there's Hyper Sands, and why is Tooth here? Anyways, continuing on, interacting with Hyper actually makes you talk with him. Here, if you haven't played the update yet, you can actually talk to him about your dues. That's how you get 2,500 chips to start off with, or it might be 5,000, I'm not really too sure anymore. Here you can actually buy stuff like titles, daily skins, that's the thing, whatever. Weapon skins, backpack styles, boosters, and again, even titles. You good? I'm beating you with nothing but my pistol. Oh, and he left. Okay, moving on from that frankly very... Excuse me, I had to burp. Anyways, moving on from that frankly very hilarious occurrence. Hyper isn't the only one that you can just have a dialogue with. If you interact with Horror, as you might have previously seen already, he has other options, such as the Souls, which we are already on, and Question. Here you can talk to him about advice, about yourself, contracts, Hyper, and more. The same thing goes for Killer. Science, advice, about you, contracts, and more. Now, another big part of the update is actually the character selection wheel. To access the characters, you just click on, or not really click, you interact with these cards on the table, and this is how you choose your character. Oh. Alright, so I forgot to make the timer infinite again, but oh well. I could have bullied Tooth with this pistol again.
Miss! Miss! Miss!
Oh man. I'm down to my last 12 shots. Oh, and I'm out of ammo. You know what that means. You're 1 HP. Do you? Oh wait, you actually survived that. Alright, back to the main topic at hand. This is how you select the characters. There are, I think, technically 3 new characters. That being, obviously, Green Sands, Crossbones, and Flowey Possession. He's not new, but his rework makes him so different that might as well be new. I guess the same goes for Last Breath. His rework completely changed him. Honestly, my first impression of his rework was, wow, it's actually kind of bad, but the more I play with it, the better it actually seems. It's not even that bad of a rework. I just wish it was a bit better, as it is kind of boring to play with. It's also important to note that the Murderer, a skin for Dust, also recently got a rework. It's supposed to have a move selection screen, but it's currently disabled. Yeah, record idle here. The Murderer does actually have the move selection screen. It's just not at the beginning of the round. To select your moves, you just click on the Murderer, and then you click on Moves. From here, you drag and drop whatever thing you want in your moveset. And then after you're done, you just click Save and Exit. So yeah, hope that helps. I don't know why, it's probably just for bugs. What's also cool is that the Killer Knife also got a rework. And as you can clearly see, even when I compare it to all the other weapons, I actually do main the Killer Knife. So I am pretty well versed in it. I will be showcasing the Killer Knife plus the Premonition combo, along with other reworks. The first Sands I will be giving a proper introduction to will be Crossbones. Oh, there we go. That was weird. However, first, I will be showcasing the Killer Knife. Maybe you select your character in the only place called Character Select. It's right here, bro. It's right here. Idiot. Idiots. Oh, Last Breath actually got a rework. The Killer Knife rework is actually a pretty cool rework. Moving on. You see, if you just attack normally, it does attack. But the Killer Knife rework actually made it so that you can hold down your attack. The longer you hold it down for, the more damage it does, and the more sanity it drains. The red bar at the bottom of your screen is your sanity. If you hold it down for just long enough, you will drain a significant amount of your sanity. Now, this doesn't mean that you get an increase in how much determination you get per hit. It doesn't matter how long you hold down your attack for. You can hold it down for 5 hours and it's still only give you 10. Or 5 if you're already on your second knife. Now, this does technically make it better to go down to your phase 3, but it's still a pretty lengthy process and it's still pretty risky. For starters, you have to know when to charge your attack and when to not. Anyways, let's get on with the fight. I'll just censor that out, don't worry. And that's a very what does it even do? Okay, so I made a funny thing. Okay, you gotta click it again. You gotta click it again. Yeah. He used it right as it expired. Yeah. So yesterday when I first made a YouTube video on the update, my mic was muted the entire time, so this is why I'm making the video today. WP, did you crash? Oh, wait, we both froze. What? Oh, did they? Wait, I think they restarted servers. I'm not sure. What is happening to my knife? Why is my knife floating away? Alright, round 2. Hopefully the game doesn't freeze on us this time. Just click close, By the way, when I first tested Last Breath's rework yesterday, I was confused by most of the moves, including the Bone Spinner, because that move is like actually useless. I walked right through it and it did nothing. I don't know, it's really useless. What? Okay. That's like pretty much one of his only good moves, that one right there. Ow. I forgot I can't jump while charging the attack. Oh yeah, I guess I should be providing some live commentary. Anyways. The killer knife rework is actually pretty fun to play with, especially since it completely counters Undertale. But it's also pretty risk heavy, to be honest. Oh. It kind of is, yeah. Holy crap. Yeah, the last breath we were kind of made him bad, even though there's some people out there that would argue tooth and nail that it actually made him way better. I mean, yeah, but the thing is, your damage output isn't really that good anyways, and most of your moves don't really do anything. Your main moves for damaging are just the blasters. Yeah, Last Breath is kind of just run away and damage. He's really based on chip damage, and if your opponents can just dodge everything, you're kind of just fucked. Especially with the blasters, they're like your main source of damage, and if none of them hit, then you're kind of just fried. Do you not have his face too? Oh yeah, you're actually cooked. Oh. What a useless move. Holy crap. Oh yeah, there's also a new windscreen that happens whenever you win as either Kara or Sans. I'll make sure to show the windscreen for Sans later. The Crossbones, not really rework, but it's a new character entirely, so yeah. It was originally supposed to be a replacement for Negative Tail, I think. For all intents and purposes, it will not be saying the actual name, just in case. But this is actually a pretty cool character, and he's actually been in live server testing before, albeit in a completely different game. His first move is Condiment Stream, where if you attack, it's kind of just like Green Sans' pistol. He does have 6 ammo, and it does 3 damage. Well, 3.5 damage to be exact, but it heals them for 5, or for 0.5 I should say. To reload, simply just press R. Unlike Green Sans, he technically has infinite ammo. For Vigilante Strike, it's actually a melee move. It does quite a big amount of damage, and it also stuns them for a brief period of time. And it has a pretty decent cooldown as well. It also shakes your screen really violently, holy crap. Next move is Bone Chasers. It's a move that goes out in front of you and then comes back to where you are. It's basically just a camp move that can get you some really cheeky damage. The next move is Quick Draw. It's just like Condiment Sidearm, except you go into the air and rapid fire. It's kind of good, and I think it slows them down, but I could be wrong. The next move is Grapple. You grapple onto your opponents, bring them closer, and, well, you can do whatever from there. However, if you do miss, nothing really happens. You're just kind of vulnerable. But let's say that you jump and use the grapple. I think it's broken. The next move is Vanish, and as you can probably tell, Vanish. It does throw back people that were close to you whenever you use the move, and it goes on a pretty long cooldown after that. And it makes you invisible for a few seconds unless you attack, which instantly brings you out of invisibility. The next move is actually Doohickey, which is swaps Master Blaster. It doesn't really fire much, but when it does a pretty decent amount of AR. not like your conventional blaster blaster. It actually targets the player, and it tries to predict where they're gonna move. So it's actually a pretty decent weapon because while the blaster blast is firing, you kind of just corner them. The final move is the target practice, where you move up to the tower, and from here you just shoot. The aim is pretty bad. You kind of have to aim a bit up where you actually want it to go. So it's not really that good of a move. I didn't really get to showcase the full move, but it's not really that good. It's just really just so you can regen your stamina. Alright, now you're gonna witness me and Tooth actually in a fight. Alright, let's go. It should also be important to note that I actually have Crossbones at max, so what you're seeing right now is actually maxed out gameplay. Yeah, you don't really want to be running in a straight line against Crossbones, or else you'll get... The doohickey is actually a really good move, to be honest. It kind of limits your opportunities and ability to move. The grapple is kind of a bad move, though, I can't lie. What? Okay, W lag? No, I just lagged for a bit there. Oh, just barely. Yeah, you can. Dude, the aim is... Oh, there we go. It's kind of hard to aim that. It's kind of hard to aim that because the aim is kind of off, so you have to aim a little bit upwards. The next character I'm actually going to showcase is Possession Sands. He also recently got a rework, obviously, within the new update. And again, I do have him fully maxed, so what you're going to see is fully maxed gameplay. Oh, and it seems that Tooth is also going to be using the Murderer, which is nice. There we go. Killer Knife versus the Murderer. The Murderer is... You're supposed to have a move selection screen, but I think they temporarily disabled it. Or maybe they just permanently disabled it, I'm not sure. Oh, that's really cool. That's actually... I did not know that. Yeah, he got a complete rework. And the Murderer rework is actually the best rework in my opinion. Oh. Oh. Nope. I know, he is. Yeah. Wow. Holy. I see that. Oh, okay. I'm cooked. Oh, you missed. You missed. No, you just missed. I already used the combo before. You can combo with the big blaster. It does a crap ton of damage, but it's just really specific timing. Holy damage. Yeah, the Murderer remains one of the best characters in the game. Holy crap. What I actually like about the Killer Knife rework is that it actually counters a handful of characters like Undertale. And even characters that have counters, like the Murderer. If you're good enough at that game, you actually counter them pretty well. See? But I'm not that good at the game, so I'm probably just gonna die here. I mean... Oh. Yeah, but it's still really good and really cool. Now, moving on to possession sounds, his rework is actually one of the cooler ones, even if it does make him pretty dog shit. He does have a very slow movement speed, unfortunately, but oh well. The first move I'm actually going to be showcasing is Soul Snare. As you can clearly tell, it's very bad. It will rarely ever hit. But if it does hit, let's see the damage. I already know the damage, but I just want to keep it suspenseful. Let's say you do manage to hit it. Only 3 damage per Soul Snare. And keep in mind, this is fully maxed out gameplay you're seeing right here. Soul Snare does 3 damage, and it barely hits. Now, on to the next move, Seated Bones. When you use the move, it actually throws bones at wherever your mouse is. This move explodes the bones and actually heals you if it hits anyone. Now, like Soul Snare, it only does 3 damage. This becomes a problem when the hitbox is incredibly small. And only the explosions deal damage, not even the bones. So your damage options are already extremely limited. You can either do the 3 damage Soul Snare that doesn't hit, or you can also do the Seated Bones move that doesn't hit either. And if it does hit, it only hits once. The next move is honestly just as uninspiring, unexciting, and really bad. It's called Infest. It summons a whole bunch of vines wherever you click, and I have no idea what happens there. If you press X, you kind of just summon another... Oh yeah, right. We also have voice acting.
Patience tonight, friend.
Even if the voice acting is a bit delayed. But yeah, Infest is really bad. If it does hit, it will only hit once, and it only does 3 damage. Idiot, why does... Oh yeah, again, there's voice acting.
Why did you stop attacking?
Every time you hit someone, I'm pretty sure you get another one of these flowers. If you press X, it will summon a flower where your mouse is. I'm not entirely sure what these flowers do. He already walked over them, so whatever. Now, moving on to Warfare. It has 3 modes: Incendiary, Artillery, and Airstrike. Let's check out Incendiary first. This is probably going to be your second best move, as it does decent damage, and it also puts them on fire while inflicting KR. That's 2 different status effects along with a decent amount of damage. Although, I'm not really entirely sure as to how you really aim it. As in battle, you're moving a lot, and it doesn't always aim like this, so I'm not entirely sure. Next up, we have Artillery. With this move, Flowey actually shoots pellets at wherever your mouse is. And if they hit someone, it goes back to heal you. Each pellet does, let's see the damage. I just have bad aim. Anyways, the last move of Warfare is actually Airstrike. It inflicts a decent amount of fire damage, and it does a decent amount of damage itself, wherever you land. The problem is, you're being rushed. Everyone is pretty much right next to you. You're not really going to have a chance to use Airstrike to attack. You're mainly going to be using this to run away and not attack. And due to Flowey's incredibly low walk speed, he's not exactly the best at running away, so if you do end up diving into your enemy, you don't exactly have a way out. Now what happens if you use Incendiary or Artillery together? Nothing really. You can't have 2 moves active at the same time, unfortunately. Which is kind of bad, considering how bad this rework already is. Your moves, first 3 moves already don't really do that much damage. 3 damage per pellet, and there's only 4, which is 12. And it's not really that easy to hit the pellets either, so you're already limited by that factor as well. Let me just quickly... There we go. Just in case, you know. All in all, so far the character is actually pretty bad. But, let's talk about the Venus Buster. When you summon it, it actually rises from the ground, dealing knockback and a decent amount of damage. Its first move is actually reposition, where it will reposition for every click. This is by far the coolest move this rework has actually brought. And just like when you summon it, it does both knockback damage and actual damage. Its second mode is Release. If I said this thing has 2 modes before, I was wrong. There's actually 3. Anyways, Release, basically just a constant stream of damage and KR. This is your best move by far, apart from the counter, but we'll get to that later. Release does really reliable and constant damage, and it's also a pretty easy answer to people who are rushing you down. That said, just like Crossbones moves, it is kind of hard to hit. Now we move on to Blast. Just like a regular blaster, it will blast wherever you click. Although there was a bit of charge up, it does 16 damage along with some KR damage. The cooldown for it is actually pretty quick as well. Albeit, it is kind of hard to hit it nonetheless. The move does also have HP. It has 1000 HP, which seems like a lot, which it is. You're probably not even going to be attacking the thing, as your main focus should just be Flowey. I'm not really sure what the devs thought when they made this, because if you're just attacking Flowey, it doesn't really matter. I guess they kind of wanted the players to go after the move, but oh well. The next move, like I said, is a counter. The counter actually has extremely specific timing, or if you're off by even a little bit, the counter will immediately go away. It's important to note that you still take damage from the counter, and it doesn't even heal you, albeit the damage is greatly reduced. Flowey, can you shut up, please?
Idiots! Stop attacking!
As you can see, the window is very short for the counter. And the counter actually goes on a longer cooldown, I believe. Let's see that again. It actually goes on a longer cooldown if you hit the counter, which doesn't really make sense. The counter itself does pretty decent damage, and you can actually combo with other moves, I'm pretty sure. Now, the next move is actually called Brute Force. As you can clearly see, it knocks them back and puts their...
Why did you stop attacking?
Devs, please make a way, like a setting, for Flowey to stop talking. It does get quite annoying. Anyways. After you hit them with Brute Force, Flowey actually continuously attacks whoever you hit with pellets, which does a decent amount of damage. That is, if they hit. They are extremely easy to dodge. Brute Force itself does 5 damage. The move where Flowey trucks himself right at you does 5 damage. The devs really thought this one through. And not only are the explosions extremely small, they like also never hit because they're so easy to dodge. This character is so bad. Anyways, you ready? Alright, let's fight. Yeah, I have him at max, by the way. And he's still this bad. Also, Tooth, do you have 100 HP? You have 92. Okay, whatever. You should just give yourself 100 anyways. It doesn't really matter. Alright, whatever. Are you ready? Let's go. And wow, that hit twice for a total of 6 damage. I know, yeah, the move is extremely bad.
Idiots! Why did you stop attacking?
My gosh. Oh, I can't even go through my own move. Oh, wait. The blaster actually has a 4th move. It's called Crunch. I bite you down. Holy crap. You should probably move.
Idiots! Why did you stop attacking?
But I can't hit you with that.
Idiots! Why did you stop attacking?
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, GG's.
Idiots! Why did you stop attacking?
Yeah, GG's. It does 5 damage. It does 5 damage, by the way. This beast of a character hauling ass right at you does 5 damage. It's insane. Dude, that didn't even hit. The stupid soul snare move didn't even hit. And then there's this as well, which just makes the move all the... Yeah, I can't even move during that, by the way, and I still can't move. Hello? Okay, now we can move.
You were anything to make you worm.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think you can see why this character is really bad. It's also pretty laggy, to be honest. Ah. I'm cooked. I'm at 7 stamina. I'm cooked. Yeah, dude, see? See? The character is actually so bad. Max upgrades, by the way. Max upgrades. Okay. Yeah, one Kara, bro. Imagine a whole team. Imagine a whole team. Now, moving on to Green Sands, which is probably the second best part of this update. Originally, I did say that Green Sands is actually kind of boring, but the more I play him, the more I actually like him. It does say 6 out of 6 here, but don't worry. That'll change as soon as I shoot. Now, again, I don't really have any XP on Green Sands, so what you're seeing is actually non-max gameplay. It's actually no upgrade Green Sands, so he's already pretty decent. Imagine him fully upgraded. Anyways, the first move is Pistol. Sorry about that. Anyways, the first move is actually Pistol. Now, unlike Flowey possessions, 3 damage tickles, this does tickle them as well, with 7 damage. But the kicker is that you can actually hit these moves, and you have 36 shots. Now, this move would be bad on its own, but you have other moves that also complement this move. Every move in Green Sands' loadout actually complements each other, which I do kind of like. The cooldown for each shot is actually pretty small as well, and it's, again, really easy to hit. When you run out of ammo, you just click R to reload. Non-max Green Sands has 36 base ammo. Every time you reload, it takes away 6. The next move is going to be Drone Strike. It summons a bunch of helicopters, and it actually attacks wherever you click. There are a bunch of those attacks, each exploding and dealing, I think, 3 damage. Yep, 3 to 7 damage. 7 damage if the actual helicopters hit, 3 damage for the explosions. Now, unlike Flowey Possession's pitiful bone explosions that only deal 3 damage, this does contact damage and explosion damage, which basically leads to you dealing 10 damage if you can actually hit them. Which is pretty nice, considering this character is already pretty good. The next move is going to be Loads of Money, where essentially you just run around, and whenever you click, it's basically a melee attack. During this move, you actually have iframes, so you can't be drained of stamina. Now, if you do attack too fast or too much, you will end up tripping over when the move is done, and that will actually put you in a very vulnerable state. So I don't really recommend using it too much. in one go. But what this move does is it essentially makes you immortal while you hit your enemies for free damage. And you can actually pretty much almost kill someone entirely just off of one move. The next move is actually going to be guitar. It summons a speaker in front of you, and there's normally a shockwave that follows. So let's try that again. But the shockwave actually knocks people upwards and does a decent amount of damage. So it's good for crowd control. Does 6 damage and knocks people upwards. Again, really good for crowd control. The next move is actually the Hive Minds. It's a move that follows around players and it actually does 1 DPS. I'm pretty sure it's a bee with green Sans' head on it, which is actually pretty cool. This move actually gets better with upgrades. The final move is a counter called Matador. When you click it, you actually pull out a cape and turn red. If someone hits you while you counter, your stand actually pops up and it hits them. Then it goes on a 25-second cooldown. So let's see that again. Alright, let's see the counter again. It does 14 damage, which is actually pretty good. I'm not sure if this move gets better with upgrades, but I'd reckon it does. Now the match actually ended, so we're kind of redoing the round, just so that you guys can actually have the full fight. Anyways, this is going to be the full fight. Alright. I mean, I do already have gameplay of this, but now that I actually did the entire, you know... Why are you still using the gun? Yeah, you can't really dodge this, to be honest. How'd that miss? Oh my gosh. Hello? What? What happened there? If you spin too fast, you actually just go stunned and stuff. What? That's so stupid. Fix empty gun hitbox. Fix empty gun hitbox. Holy crap. Pretty sure each hit does like 12 damage as well, so that's good. You can't. You can, but you have to be extremely precise with the timing. Oh, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I know, I don't really like it either. Yeah, he doesn't really die, he just kind of runs away. The last and final character I'm going to showcase is going to be Last Breath. Now, why am I showcasing him? Well, like I said earlier in the video, he actually recently got a rework. And just keep in mind, this is fully maxed out gameplay. I have him at 11,000 XP. The reason why I have him at such high XP is because I actually wanted to get his the musical skin, but as you can clearly see, it's been removed. I mean, honestly fair. The old model is way too different from this one, so there would probably be some bugs, especially with all the new animations that happen. Now, the rework actually gives Last Breath a cutscene. I did accidentally miss some because I had to deafen Discord and unpause the recording, but the recording is already 38 minutes long, and it's going to be even longer, so don't worry. I'm doing a full in-depth sort of review. Before I forget again and the time ends way too prematurely. Now the first move I'm going to be talking about is Colorful Bones. It has 2 modes, blue and orange. What blue does, it shoots out a blue bone wall wherever you're looking. and if it ends up hitting someone, it actually summons bones right beneath them. The reason this move is so bad is because not only does it go away really quickly, meaning you're able to just jump over it, you're also probably never even going to be hitting this move unless they're intensely following right after you. The move itself doesn't really deal that much damage, although it does deal some pretty decent chip damage. The next move I'm going to be talking about is Spinner Ricochet. I to this day have no idea what this does. Blast? Yeah, so it has two moves. The first move is actually Spinner. I'm not really sure what it does. Yeah, it kind of just stays there. It doesn't even damage. Yeah, as you can see, it does no damage. I'm not sure if that's really... I'm not sure if that's intentional, but it does no damage, and then it has max bones. I have no idea what this move is even used for. The next move is, well, the same move, just a different mode. As you've already seen, that is a second mode called Blast. When you click with it, it's almost like a blaster. This move is going to be one of your main damaging moves, as it does a really good amount of damage, along with some KR damage. So, it's really one of your only damage options, to be honest, because the rest of the moves are kind of like Flowey position, in which they're pretty bad, but unlike Flowey position, they're still usable. Here's the move one last time. As you can see, it does a really good amount of damage, and it does a lot of KR damage. The next move is going to be Spin Meringue. Essentially, it shoots such an orange bone, which then comes back to you and becomes a much larger bone spin. I'm not sure why they made it be an orange bone coming out, since, well, whenever you're actually attacking Last Breath, you're probably just going to be moving anyway, so the only damaging thing is going to be the bone spin. And even that's pretty avoidable, you just gotta back away. Now, the move does have a slow, or fast cooldown actually, but that doesn't matter too much, considering you're going to be wasting stamina a lot more. And with all the other moves that you're going to be using, you're not going to get too much value out of it. Tooth told me in Discord to aim the blaster with the bone, so that's what I'm going to be doing for it. Oh, so that's what that does. That is still incredibly useless. Well, okay, maybe not that useless, but I don't know. It kind of still seems pointless. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, you could just... You can have 4 at a time, which is pretty good. And then you can kind of just... Oh, it's 1 at a time, so you kind of have to... This is really bad. Hold on, maybe there's another way you can use this. You know, let's just shoot it right there. Nothing happens. Shoot it right there, maybe. Nothing happens. You have to actually shoot it at the spinners, which is really useless. Why would you waste a blaster? I mean, I guess so that you can kind of trick your opponents, but there's so much stuff you have to consider, like the way they're moving, the way these things are aiming, and you're wasting so much stamina for a move that will basically never hit. So it is not worth using this move at all. You're using a blaster on a bone spinner to make a blaster that probably won't even hit, unless they're standing still right in the direction. Makes no sense to me, but you never know. Maybe someone who's better at the game can explain this more thoroughly than I can. Now, moving back to Spin Gimmick, it's actually one of your better moves. Like Spinner Ricochet with your blaster, it also summons blasters, but it summons 4 of them in a plus shape. Now, why is this move called Spin Gimmick and not just blasters? Well, because if you use the move and click the gun, they actually shift directions so as to confuse your opponents, which is really good when you're facing pros. Or is it? Because even then, it's still pretty easy to dodge. I mean, you kind of have to predict where they're going, because if you're not, you're probably just going to miss your shot anyways. The next move is actually going to be Slide Tricks. There are a total of 3 moves, or modes. White, blue, and orange. This is what white does. It summons bones on the side of the arena. Don't think they really damage you, but here's the kicker. If you click again, they actually shoot out. As you can probably tell, this move is actually pretty useless. Only if you're really being chased, but then again, you can always just jump right over them. Unless you time it perfectly so that they are stacked on top of each other so that you can't really jump over them. And this actually does have a pretty long cooldown, so let's see when the cooldown is off. The next mode is actually going to be blue mode, where if you click it, a ton of blue bones are spawned all around the arena. As you can clearly tell, this move is extremely useless. Unless your opponent is dashing into you, I guess, which they probably won't do if this move is active. You can very easily just jump over it as both the carrot team and as a standstill. So it doesn't really matter too much. You can't even switch modes while this move is active. And then it goes on cooldown for 20 seconds. How fun. The final mode for this move is orange. I actually don't even know what this does. Oh, right. Orange modes come from the side. This is incredibly useless. Now that I think about it. It offers no value since you're probably just going to be moving anyways. But it does have a kicker. Every now and again, you click, and that happens. Click again. So you can actually kind of confuse your opponents and catch them off guard. Even if you do have a lot of time to really prepare for it. And the final move is actually going to be Blink Dilation, where you teleport to a place, and you leave behind a bone that smacks onto the ground, summoning smaller bones. This move actually does pretty decent damage, although it's not really that good for DPS. Really, the only forms of DPS are the Spinnermarang, the Blaster, and the Spin Gimmick. Those moves combined together do a lot of damage, and a lot of KR damage, as you can clearly see. Now, there is Artifact Frenzy, but I'm going to tell Tooth to actually fight me so that you guys can actually see what Phase 1 has to offer. Alright, let's do this. I think this is like my only really... You should probably... Yeah. So, I'm not gonna lie. The spinners that happen when you shoot the spinners with the blaster, that's pretty useless, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, that's what that does, if it hits. Alright. Alright, let's go into Artifact Frenzy real quick. When you enter Artifact Frenzy, it actually gives you an entirely new set. Though it does drain your stuff very fast, and what this does is it summons a bunch of dogs. This one makes it follow your opponent if it hits, and it summons a bunch of dogs. If the dog works, it summons a bunch of dog fireworks, and it does decent damage, I'm pretty sure. Bungee Bones just summons a bunch of dogs in the direction you're facing. It's really hard to hit, and then this move is extremely useless if it actually loads. There we go. If you just do that, then I guess you can get... Yep, there we go. Now, whenever you enter Phase 2... Oh, hold on, let me deafen. Sorry. Whenever you enter Phase 2, there's a cutscene that plays. I have no idea what happens in this cutscene, because it's frankly very confusing. After you exit that cutscene, yet another cutscene plays. This cutscene is actually quite cool. Now when you exit the cutscene, I'm pretty sure you are supposed to have a bone in your right hand. But maybe you're not supposed to. I'm not entirely sure. But the first move we're going to talk about is aggressive colors. You can actually kind of spam this move, although you can only have 3 active at a time. And because of the spam nature of this move, it does drain your stamina by quite a bit, especially if you're moving around with the attack. Its next mode is blue, where, you guessed it, it summons one of those, but this time it comes with an extra wall. If it hits, it goes back to that bone rise that happens. Back to the spinners, except this time the spinners are pretty good, I think, and Christian's back. The spinners themselves don't seem to do anything. Let's see what happens if you shoot them. I see. Oh, that's what happens. Okay. Oh. That's gonna hit nobody. That is really useless. Now, Last Breath's next move is like OG ULC's horror sands. If you guys know what I'm talking about, good for you. If you don't, essentially, OG ULC had a horror sands where his bone rise was extremely powerful. In fact, even modern day ULC's horror sands has a bone rise, which is also extremely powerful. Albeit way less powerful than it used to be, because the old bone rise could just one-shot you. And this is what it looks like. You can actually kind of spam this move, and it goes in the direction you're facing, I'm pretty sure. So if I look over here and I throw it over there, no, it goes in the direction you throw it on. So if I throw it over there, yep, that's really cool. Is it really cool? Yes. Does it deal a lot of damage? Yes. Is it practical? Not really. You can get value out of this move, which is good, but you're not going to get value out of it too often. The next move is going to be Sliding Legacy, which is honestly very bad, and I do kind of want to speed up things, so I'm just going to talk about Unexpected Assist. It essentially just clones yourself and summons a bunch of slashes, which is honestly really good because it does a lot of damage while also doing a lot of KR damage. Finally, the last move is Shifting Blink. It is behind an attack where you were, and that's pretty much it. You just kind of teleport away. It does have another state, but I kind of do want to get this video over with. Now, onto you will see. Oh wait, I gotta mute. Hold on, or definitely. Alright, there we go. As you can see, I'm a very good YouTuber. Anyways, going back to the game I talked about, if I did. Undertale Last Corridor Deluxe Edition. I personally believe that this game is way better than the current ULC we have. Now, as you can see, it does have most of the old ULC model styles. It even has the Golden Frying Pan. Now to the characters. The characters are kind of unique, especially for a Sans vs. Kara game. Although most of the characters are basically, not most, but some of them do just have a moveset. It's basically stripped or ripped straight out of OG.
Mods, crush the skull, thank you.
You'll see. Such as Horror Sands. His movesets are basically just him from OG ULC, which I don't mind, but at the very least, the devs are tired of switching this moveset creation and model creation to sort of be its own thing, because as the owner said in his Discord server once, he kind of does want this game to become its own thing, instead of just, oh wow, another ULC fan game, which I do kind of respect, and I do hope that they succeed in doing that. Now you see those blue bone zones? Those actually do a crap ton of KR damage, and they actually end up doing a lot of regular damage on their own, which is pretty good. Because if you're just bomb rushing the sands like I am, that'll actually lead to some pretty good damage. Especially if you're using Undertale Frisk, which takes increased damage, I'm pretty sure. Now, most parts of this game are actually pretty unique, believe it or not, and I'm dead. Anyways, most parts of this game are actually pretty unique, believe it or not. From the animations to the models, although they do follow a similar modeling style to OG ULC, the models are still pretty unique. We even have the souls, but unlike ULC, and even OG ULC if I recall correctly, we have the Sand Soul, which requires a reset and 15 wins. The cool thing about this game is that resets are not 1000 wins, but 500. This unlocks the Bone Frying Pan and Geno. Geno's moveset is, hello? Anyways, as you can clearly see, Geno's moveset is basically ripped straight out of OG ULC. From the bone throw, to the fast hit, to the fast bone zone, to even the blasters. Now against Crisps and stuff, you're going to be dealing a lot of damage anyways. As you can clearly see, Geno is really good, but he is getting a rework, I'm pretty sure, as is Fatal Error. Now I don't have a max, unfortunately, as I basically just unlocked him as you can clearly see, but I will be grinding him. Anyways, since I do want to cut this video a little bit short, I will be showcasing a few more rounds, and then I'll move on to the Halloween event, which I think is actually pretty cool. Yes, I'm gonna lock in against Little Tail Sands. This character really... Dude, it takes so much breath to make a YouTube video, holy crap. No, because then I'm gonna have to go in and, like, make the text myself, and that takes even more time. I'd honestly rather just do live commentary. Dude, we should low-key play this game together in the future, because it's actually just a fun game. I can carry you, don't worry. I'm pretty sure this Sand Soul is supposed to summon Gastro Blasters every now and again, but it's not. It hasn't. No, it's the Sand Soul. It's a soul that needs a reset plus 15 wins. On the bright side, it does actually give me catch up pretty frequently, which heals me for 16 HP. See, look, I get catch up, and since I'm using the frying pan, I also get additional healing moves or healing items, so I can just basically infinite heal. Yeah, Little Tooth, I don't think you're winning this time. Easy. I'm actually 3 wins away from using my GOAT Jackal Sands, which I do kind of want to showcase. Hey, dude. What? Where are my upgrades? Where are my upgrades? Really? Whatever, bro. Whatever. I don't need upgrades. I don't need upgrades. Jackal in this game is actually really good, though. No, because Jackal in this... It is. It actually, unironically, is way better. It is way better than the OG. He's dead. This is no upgrades, by the way. Holy retard. Keep in mind, my upgrade, I have an upgrade that gives me a curse, which actually curses you guys. But I don't have it equipped right now, so you're lucky. He's dead. Oh, he's dead as well. He's Loki dead. Hold on. Oh, he's right. I think you're dead. No, you took heavy damage though. W teammate. W teammate. The Bone Zone one-shots you, by the way. Or almost does. Hold on, you actually make up to here, hold on. How'd that hit? What? What? How is that hitting me? Alright, GG's. Undertale Last Corridor Deluxe Edition also features a Halloween event. It's honestly really cool, and it's clearly heavily inspired by FNAF, as you really only need to win by just waiting until 6 AM. In this event, you have 3 threats: Dust, Bonewalker, and Jack-O-Sans. I'm going to show you some gameplay of the event, as well as how to actually beat it, as it is actually quite simple. When you first spawn in, you start at this door. You walk into the living room and you see 2 windows. On one window, you'll find Dust. Whenever he attacks, you will hear him walking towards you. In order to defend against him, you simply click on the window to close the curtains. When he goes away, you will hear a faint crunch in the snow. That will indicate that he's gone back to his original position. He should be attacking pretty soon, so I'll show you what I mean. See, he's attacking. Just close the window and wait for that sound to play. Now, on the other side of the home is this window. If you can see, there are 2 eyes peering off into us in the trees. That is Bonewalker. He has 4 phases. Phase 1 is when he's not even there. Phase 2 is when he's at the trees, his current phase. Phase 3 is he is standing right there in between the tree and the house. Jaco should be attacking soon, pretty soon. And phase 4 is when he's right at the window. To avoid getting killed by Bonewalker, all you need to do is go into the hallway and stay here until he leaves. Oh, I might be cucked. Never mind. I forgot Dust gives you a generous amount of time to close the window. Or, yeah. Anyways, whenever Jaco knocks on the door, you have to click accept the deal. Then you have to find the amount of pumpkins the TV tells you to find. In this case, I have to find 1. Simply walk up to the pumpkin and interact with it. Bonewalker is now at phase 3. Soon he should be at phase 4. I will also show you all the death cutscenes that happen. It's also important to note that although timing may get really tight sometimes, it is never impossible. Bonewalker and Jaco may attack at the same time, but you have generous amount of time to both hide and find the pumpkins, so it's never impossible. It might just be hard sometimes, especially if you haven't memorized all the pumpkin locations. Bonewalker and Dust might also attack at the same time as well, but they will never attack at a time that makes it completely impossible, such as at the exact same time. In order to win, you need to survive until 6 AM, as I previously said, all the while avoiding all of these challenges. Not really avoiding them, just more or less surviving. Phase 3 on Bonewalker, he's about to go into phase 4. There we go. Bonewalker goes away relatively fast, but as soon as he shows up, he never goes back to phase 1, he just goes back to phase 2. Oh, and I'm died. When doing this event, it's important to have a pretty high volume on your game, as the sounds can actually be pretty soft or very, very low pitched. Or they're not necessarily low pitched, but you get what I mean. Their volume is extremely... What? Okay, anyways. But I'd recommend having a high volume for this event, since you can't really hear Dust walking all that well. So here, I turned up the in-game volume. And now that'll make us survive a lot easier. Now Dust is attacking, so we just close the curtains. And once he's back, we just reopen them. Bonewalker is now officially at phase 2. Jaco should be attacking pretty soon. Let me check on Dust. Right on time. Now again, you are given a very generous amount of time for everything. You are given, I think, 10 seconds to close the door or window on Dust. You are given a very generous amount of time on Bonewalker. Even if he's on phase 4, you still have a lot of time to hide before he actually kills you. And Jacko also gives you a very generous amount of time to collect all your pumpkins. So although he is right there on the window, don't worry. You have more than enough time to come back here and hide. And that's pumpkin number 2. Watch out for Dust. He's back. Bonewalker at phase 3, and Jacko's attacking. Gotta find 2 pumpkins. There's one right here. And I can't seem to find the other one. I might be... There it is. And just like that, we survived both attacks. Dust is also attacking, but we have more than enough time to close the windows. Just like that. 3 pumpkins this time. One right here. One right here. And one right here. Bonewalker is now at phase 3. Dust is attacking. And now we go and hide. I think it's also important to note that Jacko does attack more throughout the night. Although I could be wrong on this, but it definitely does feel like he does increase his attacks. Oh, Dust is attacking. There we go. Oh, and he lost. Although it is very possible, you are still very much tied to RNG. Since I've already beaten the event, and you've already seen the death cutscenes for Dust and Jacko, albeit I cut the death cutscene for Dust short, let me show you what happens when you die from Bonewalker. Here we go, Bonewalker is about to attack. Had to deal with Dust real quick, but he should be attacking any second now. There he is. And whatever. It'll conflict, but it's alright. This is the death cutscene for Bonewalker. Oh. Yep. It's really weird. Oh no, a very fun Halloween event that I really think you should try out if you end up playing this game. Solid 9 out of 10 event. Would definitely play again on a different account. Anyways, let's get back to the video. There we go. Recording started. Oh, you actually got an upgrade for Little Toe. Now you have an extra blaster. That does so much. I know. This character very OP. I am? Oh. Easy. I know you're low on stamina. I'm about to die though, so it's okay. My recording is paused, but yeah, Tooth died like a coward. And here's Pizzter also being a coward with the perseverance, so. Dude, this is actual fucking, oh my gosh. Do not. Yeah, I have enough wins for Max Jacko. I have enough wins for Max Jacko, I don't care anymore. Use perseverance if you want, you're gonna get cooked. Dude, how is he at max HP? What? How'd he heal? Bro, how'd he heal? What the? What is this? What is this? Bro. How did that hit me? That's what I want to know. Yes, okay, the spider hit him. Yes, 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 holy damage. I didn't have pumpkin barrage on cooldown. Crap. I'm actually cooked. GG's. See, he would have taken so much more damage from that if that.
Hey, kid, want a wiener in your mouth?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Haha, stupid. Shut up. You know Jackal unupgraded can actually be beat by a whole team of stick players with no wins. Oh, he's almost dead. No, he's not. I'm gonna die actually. Yeah, what? Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Come on. Please. Please. How do I not have enough stamina for that move? Come on. No! What? What? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Wait. No, he's oh shit. Okay. There's no way. There's no way. No. Not what I need. Yes! Wait, what? No! Max Jackal Sands. You guys are not winning this. Are you? That's one of the curses. Dude, the projectiles move so slowly. Oh my gosh. No, I blinded him again. You gotta hold E on them. You can open up 3 wooden crates. Because you can get more skins the wooden crates because it's only 5 gold. I still have 148 stamina, by the way. No, I'm not. I will stream. I actually have 130 stamina left. Pizzter is dead in like one move, by the way, because he's at 2 HP. It might be GG's. Yeah, GG's. Hands. Hold on. I need my ketchup. I need my ketchup. Hold on. Okay. W hitboxes? W hitboxes? W Pizzter? W Pizzter. Oh crap. Okay, yeah, W Pizzter. Alright, Pizzter. Good luck, buddy. Buddy boy chum. Bucko. Al. Good luck. Kill those two real quick. There we go. I give you a quick heal. Here you go, Pizzter. Have fun. Oh man, I love this character so much. Oh, and I'm underneath the platform. Oh. Okay, okay. I saw the base plate. W bug. Yep, easy.